Another year, another fail for the 76ers. And this one could be huge. It could be the end of the process. Things were looking good for Philly fans after a 4-1 win in the first series against the Wizards. But then came a painful moment of sobriety for the fans, the players, and everyone in the organization. Atlanta Hawks, the 5th seed of the Eastern Conference, eliminated Philadelphia in 7 games, and what a run it was. Philly blew up massive leads. Ben Simmons didn't want to shoot and was terrible from the free throw line. Embiid made 8 turnovers in Game 7, and finally Doc Rivers pulled another choke job as he lost several games in the worst possible way, blowing up massive leads. The media and fans have been destroying Ben Simmons for the last couple of days. The fans want him out, Doc didn't have words of encouragement for him after Game 7, and even Embiid wasn't pleased at all with his performance in the series. It all went downhill for Simmons. So what's going on with Ben Simmons, and what are the best possibilities for him after his horrible fail and the media and fan rampage towards him? We'll find out in the minutes to come. There is no doubt that Ben Simmons had one of the worst playoff performances in recent NBA history from a star of such caliber. So what led to this disaster, and could it be that Philadelphia's failure is the fault of only one man? It seems that everyone is competing in consulting and ripping Ben Simmons. For sure, he takes the big part of the blame. But what about Philadelphia 76ers head coach beloved Doc Rivers? Doc takes the minimum amount of criticism for failing yet again, as he took the minimum amount of criticism when he choked a 3-1 lead against the Nuggets in the bubble. Doc is an adorable person, and it's hard not to like him, but being likable doesn't take the blame away from you. Rivers is known for choking and blowing up big leads. He has blown 3-1 leads many times. 3 times to be precise. A 3-2 lead twice, a 3-2 lead once, a 2-0 lead once, and he lost Game 7 at home 5 times. These are the facts, and he, as a coach of the team, should take the most of the blame for this year's fail. We give him props for the 2008 championship with Boston, but we shouldn't forget that he had the big 3. Doc Rivers obviously has a game-closing problem, and Simmons played the worst season statistically under him. It's on the head coach and the training staff to prepare the player and improve his confidence. And obviously they failed that mission. So when you add Doc with his choke mentality, Embiid's knee problems and turnovers, and the fact that Danny Green got injured during the series, it's a bit harsh to put all of the blame on one man's back. This being said, let's go back to Ben Simmons. Ben is the 2018 Rookie of the Year, 3-time NBA All-Star. He led the league in steals in 2020 and was on the all-defensive first team twice. When you look at his resume, he definitely isn't trash, as everyone is pointing out these days. Let's not forget what Ben Simmons can do when he gets angry. Earlier this year, all the talks about Gobert being the best defender in the league led to Simmons taking it personal and going to Utah to be guarded by Gobert. He finished the game with 42 points while making 12 out of 13 free throws. Ben Simmons has 7 30-plus point games in his career, 73 20-plus games, and 35 triple-doubles. But what's the problem then? If we look at Ben's stats, we can see that he improved in his second season. He jumped from averaging 15.8 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 8 assists, with 56% from the free throw line, to nearly 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists while shooting 60 from the free throw line. It seemed that he would make progress each year, develop a jump shot, and gain more confidence. In his third year, the pandemic year, Ben's statistics were pretty much the same or slightly better than the year before. He averaged 16.4 points, 2.1 steals, and 8 assists, with 8 rebounds, while shooting 58% from the field and 62 from the free throw line, both his career highs. This season, all of his stats plummeted. Including this year's playoffs, Simmons has 3 playoff runs behind him. In 2018, Ben was putting up good numbers and his future seemed bright. Philadelphia won the first round against the Heat in 5 games and then lost in 5 games against the Celtics. Ben was playing well. He was only 22 at the time, and in every one of those playoff rounds, he was either the best in points, rebounds, or assists on the 76ers. In the 2019 playoffs, Simmons' stats slightly dropped, especially in the free throw percentage, where he dropped from 70 to 57. It all culminated this year when Ben was putting up shameful numbers for an All-Star. In this year's playoff series, he averaged 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 8.8 assists, but with an unbelievably bad free throw percentage of 34%. If we exclude the free throws, these numbers are not bad for a third or fourth option on the team. But Ben Simmons is an all-star player. He should be the one that leads Philly along with Embiid, and yet what did he do? Ben literally did nothing. Okay, well, he did his thing on defense, but that's not enough from a player of that caliber. In the last quarter of the 7 games in the Hawks and Phillies series, he only took 3 field goal attempts in total. And that's all that needs to be said. His confidence dropped to the level of him not only being afraid to shoot a 3, jump shot or free throw, he started second guessing open dunk opportunities. His confidence was dropping game by game, play by play, and this is where I blame Coach Rivers and the Philadelphia training staff. What profile of a player is Ben Simmons? He's strong and athletic, can jump, is excellent on defense and very good in transition. Great passer, and we occasionally saw him make a jump shot. So where does the problem lie? It all comes down to psychology and mental strength. When the Wizards started in the first round of the 2021 NBA playoffs with Ben, it all went downhill. Washington started it and Atlanta finished it. It all came down to a point where he didn't even want to dunk because he was afraid of getting fouled. The worst kind of basketball demons got into Simmons' head and he couldn't get rid of them. We're talking about a player that is very often on the verge of a triple-double with excellent tough defense and great passing skills. One thing that he has a problem with is his mental strength. When you drop from a 70 to a 57 and then to a 34% free throw shooter, there's definitely a mental problem there. And that's something that he needs to start working on from this very moment. If we look at Giannis, he isn't a very good shooter, but Giannis doesn't care. He shoots 3-pointers, he gets called for 10-second violations while making free throws, and it seems that he just doesn't care in the way that would affect him or his confidence. Ben shouldn't care anymore about what fans or Instagram warriors have to say. If he develops a jump shot, starts shooting and gets his confidence back, he'll be one of the biggest problems in the league. But that's up to him and his training staff to work on and figure out. After this year's failure, it's hard to see Ben Simmons in Philadelphia in the season to come. 76ers fans don't want him there anymore, and it's questionable if even his teammates and coach want him there. After Game 7, Joel Embiid indirectly pointed out that Simmons is the reason the 76ers lost that game. I'll be honest, I thought the turning point was when I don't know how to say it, when we had an open shot and we made one free throw. Embiid referred to the play when Simmons, instead of making an open dunk, rather passed the ball in fear of not getting fouled by Gallinari. And Doc Rivers went one step further. When after Game 7, he said that he doesn't know if Simmons can be a guard on a championship team. So Embiid and Rivers throw Simmons under the bus after losing this series, not really a gentleman's move. Rivers also said that he's not giving up on Ben and has a plan to improve his shooting problems. Obviously, what Ben just went through, I can't imagine that, because he has so much greatness in all the things around him that he does. There are areas that he can fix, quickly in my opinion, and get better. That will take him to another level. Sometimes you don't know why you're in different places, you know what I mean? But this may be one of them. I look at this as a great challenge, but definitely a doable one. One thing's for sure, Simmons definitely needs to start shooting and practicing his shot even more. Here's what Gilbert Arenas said about how he would work out with Ben. Hey, listen Ben, I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck you're doing out there, but you only shot 3 shots today. I'm gonna let you know right now, if you don't shoot 16 to 20 shots a game, I'm benching you, flat out. Arenas has a point. More shots made, more confidence. But what's best for Ben Simmons? The best thing for him is to hope to get traded to a team that fits him well. Staying in Philadelphia could make things only worse. First of all, Philly fans are harsh, and they will have a hard time forgetting these playoff series. Second, his superstar teammate is blaming him for this failure. His head coach doesn't know if he can be the starting point guard for a championship team, and maybe Ben should just change the whole environment. Just go somewhere and have a fresh start. He could be one of the best in the league if he gets his confidence back, and I'm not sure that it can be done in Philly. Dozens of teams would trade for Simmons at the moment, but what's the best option for him? Some of the media have already speculated the Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum trade. It seems that Ben could do well with the Trailblazers, as they have an evident lack of good defenders on their team. But there's one other team in particular that could help revamp Ben's career, make him a max type player again, and that team is the San Antonio Spurs. Former Spurs forward Bruce Bowen thinks that Simmons could go to San Antonio. I know Pop very well, and I assure you that he would trade anyone on the Spurs roster for Ben Simmons. It would be rather interesting to hear what Pop has to say about this topic, and if these are his true sentiments towards Simmons. But let's just talk about this for a second. The Spurs will likely be in search of a young star who can grow within the Popovich system and be that young leader that they thought Kawhi would eventually become for them. For all the negative press that Ben Simmons is receiving right now, he just might be that guy. And San Antonio might be the perfect place for him as he moves into the prime of his career. First of all, Ben is great at the 3 things that have been the hallmark of Popovich's teams: defense, rebounding, and unselfishness. He's still a relatively raw talent, leaving the door open for the Spurs culture to mold Ben just like it did Kawhi Leonard, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. Lastly, Ben needs a team built around him to succeed because of his unique skill set. As he continues to improve on his weaknesses, it is extremely crucial that he shines for his strengths. And if there's one place where that can happen, it's with the San Antonio Spurs. To remind you, the two-time Finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard, couldn't shoot, and that was one of the main reasons he fell so much in the draft. If anyone can help a player with their shot, it's the Spurs' longtime shot guru, Chip England. For the Spurs, it gives them a chance to work with a top 5 pick in the draft without actually having to lose enough games to get favorable lottery odds. That means that Ben could potentially grow and improve with the team and potentially be their superstar for the long run. Ultimately, we think that Ben should get traded. It didn't work between him and Philadelphia, and he's just losing confidence. He needs a change and a place where he can start all over again to show everyone that he wasn't the #1 pick for no reason. What do you think? Who's to blame for the Sixers' failure in the playoffs? Can Simmons lift his confidence and fix his evident shooting problems? And where do you see Simmons next season? Let us know in the comment section below, and make sure to smash the like and subscribe button. Thank you.